Good morning, stamping friends. Thank you for joining me today. My name is Lorri Heiling, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And I have a treat for you today. I am going to share with you a technique that isn't new, but it may be new to you. So I just want to share that with you. And I also want to remind you that it is celebration right now. For any $50 order or more, you can receive free products from our celebration catalog. So please let me know if you need one of those. Otherwise, the links are on my blog, and you'll enjoy shopping, especially in the next couple months, because there's added bonuses with free product. All right, let's get started with today's projects. Today we are going to be making another Halloween project, and the stamp set that I chose to use is called Pretty Pumpkins, and this is kind of a more elegant stamp set, I would say. You know, it doesn't look very Halloween-y, but we are going to turn it into that. Excuse me. You can see it's kind of more of a fancy font, and I just had fun playing with this, so I want to share with you what we're going to do. And then I also want to share a little technique. Many of you may already know this, but I know a lot of times there's new stampers that tune in, and they might not know all the little tricks and secrets to what we do, so I want to share that as well. So let's start by grabbing the pumpkin stamp set out of here, which looks like this, and some basic white cardstock. And I'm also going to show you what it looks like in the book before I stamp here. This is the die set that will cut out this pumpkin that we're making. And then look at how elegant this is. Like, this is a really detailed die where you can make this pumpkin look really fancy. And then these cut out many of these. And then I'm also going to borrow one from Frightfully Cute. And all I'm going to use is that little witch hat. So that's going to make it look a little more Halloween-y. All right, and then one more thing. The paper I'm going to be using is Cute Halloween Designer Series paper. Isn't this fun? There's lots of prints on here, even on the back side. And I like to make these little charts. I thought I wasn't going to do it for this catalog, but for how many times I have to get that catalog out or pull out all my paper and spread them out again, this is just so much easier. Plus, I always add the coordinating colors here. So that's a handy little tool for me. These are just 2" by 2" squares. So, all right, so let's start by stamping, and we're going to use Memento ink. And I forgot I need a sheet of paper under here so I don't get my my background all messed up. All right, let's just ink that up. I try not to pound so hard because I know on the video when I go and watch, it just sounds like I'm mad and I'm pounding. All right, so let's just stamp that. Remember, when you're using blends, you have to use Memento ink. Otherwise, you will get bleed marks everywhere, and that's not pretty. All right, now to show you my color palette of blends that I'm using. It looks like a lot, but some of them I'm not using very much. All right, this is Light and Dark Pumpkin Pie. This is Light Calypso Coral, Light and Dark Old Olive, and Light Soft Suede. All right, so now I'm going to show you some little tips. I'm not going to color the whole thing because I have one already colored over here. But when you have a larger item, I start by outlining it with the finer tip, because sometimes it's harder with that big tip to, you know, get in some of those little crevices, like up here by the leaf. I mean, you can get in there, but sometimes it spreads onto the leaf because the brush end is so much bigger than this. So I just outline like that, and then I'll go back with the bigger end and then fill in like this. See what I'm saying? And my tip on the brush end still has ink in it, but it is kind of losing it's kind of getting a little bit worn up there. All right, so I guess I might as well just finish it since I'm almost done. All right, that's the front one. Now the other two I did in Light Pumpkin Pie. Now this is another trick. Sometimes one of your ends gets used more than the other, but you don't want to throw the whole ink pen away because there's still ink here. And so every time I'd go for it, I'd always grab for this end. I did order more, so I don't have to do that, but I just want to show you because this end is still good and this one is dry. So I actually tape it shut so I don't keep accidentally drawing, you know, grabbing that to open that. And then also there's a thick line here and a thin line here. The thick line means it's the brush end, and the thin line means it's the finer tip. So I think this one's kind of worn out too. So I guess it's still workable. That's why I haven't taped it or thrown it away yet, but it is kind of on its last leg, but luckily for my class, I did order more, so I'll have good ones for that. And then I did this one in the same color. So I'm not coloring it that great, but at least you can see, because I want to show you all the colors I use. Now, all the pumpkins are colored. What I like to do is go back, and with the lighter ones, I like to go one shade darker. So remember, this was light pumpkin pie. So I'm going to take the dark pumpkin pie, and I'm just going to go over those lines. We want to make a little bit of definition in these, but we still want light to show through, the lighter color. So just go like that. And then if you want, you can go back in one more time and just kind of blend it a little bit. Not everywhere, because you want light and dark to show, just like that. All right, now the darker one, dark pumpkin pie, what do you think would be one shade darker? I played around with this. It is, oh, you know what, you guys, I told you this was light Calypso Coral. It's actually dark. I remember I tried light and it was too light. You couldn't even see. So dark Calypso Coral would be the one shade darker than this pumpkin pie. All right, and then I like to go back, like I said, go back one more time with your lighter color and just kind of pull that color out a little bit, but not everywhere, because you still want light and shading, you know? All right, then for the stem, I chose light soft suede, and we'll just quickly do the stems. And the last one is the old olive, and for this one, I always start with a lighter color. So color the whole thing in. And then we're going to go back again with that darker color and just go over some of the lines. And for this one, you know, the curly cues on the pumpkins. Oh, by the way, I didn't color that stem on purpose. I'll show you why. All right. Now, let's go back with dark old olive and just make those lines a little bit more defined. This one I'm not even going to blend, because if I do, it's going to color the whole thing really dark. So we're going to leave that one like that. All right, now you are ready to, oh, there's one more part. Now we're going to turn it into jack-o'-lanterns. So I actually borrowed the little face from Banner Year, which this is a current stamp set, and it's in the annual catalog, I think. Banner Year. I can't remember now, but I know it is still current. But anyway, the item number is 153464, and we're just going to borrow that little face there and grab our black ink again and get it inked up well so you don't have splotches. And let's just put those faces on these guys. So now doesn't it look a little bit more Halloween-y? All right, now I would go die cut that out. And this is what it's going to look like. It die cuts perfectly right around there. It even cuts out that little niche in there. All right, set that aside, move all my blends, and let's move on to the card now. We are doing a tiny little 3x3 card. So this is 3 inches by 6 inches. And then I just scored it in half at 3 inches and fold on the score line. And remember that bone folder is really handy because it makes a nice crisp edge on your fold. Now I took the cute Halloween Designer Series paper, and you know, you guys, here's another trick. Lately I have been using my green glue because that Stampin' Seal, I always had trouble. Remember, I always had to have my silicone mat to kind of help it go along. Well, I called Stampin' Up and they said, try the Stampin' Seal Plus. And so I got that, and you guys, I have not had any trouble. So this is the tape you want to get. So I'm happy to be back using some of that. All right, now what we want to do here is we are going to adhere this to the front of the card. However, I forgot one part that I want to show you before I do that. So I'm going to set this aside again, and I'm going to show you this little technique. Now, like I said, many of you may already know this, but I'm just going to share it anyway. I use a pin to hold the end of my ribbon so it doesn't go everywhere. Isn't this black gingham ribbon adorable? It's only a, what is this? I don't even think it's a 1/2 inch wide. It's a 1/4 inch wide, yeah. All right, so we're going to grab our pumpkin pie blend, and let me show you what this does. Oh, you just color your ribbon right like that. You don't even have to flip it over and do the other side because it goes through. This technique has been around for a while, but one of my downline, she used this in one of her swaps, and it reminded me that, oh, that's right, we can color the ribbon. So that's one way you can do it. Now the other way is, let me cut off a hunk of this quick. let's make, so I can really use it. We'll go about that big. All right, now we're gonna take a small little bowl. This is a bowl that my daughter made in junior high. She made a whole stack of all different ones. They're so cute. And I was thinking this morning when I got it out, I really should give these to her because she made them at As You Wish. But they're so sentimental to me, but I'm being selfish because they probably mean even more to her. She made them. This one says 2 peas in a pod or along that edge. I can't show you because I have water in here. But anyway, she made probably about 10 of these of all different, there's all different kinds. They're so cute. All right, then I have this teeny tiny spoon. I don't know where I got that. And all you're gonna do is take your re-inker and put, I don't know, however dark you want the ribbon. I started with maybe four or 5 drops, and then stir it. And there's your little mixture, your little witch's brew that you're going to, and we're just gonna put your ribbon in there and let it soak, and look at how fast it dyes it. And what I do is I just set it outside in Arizona, and it is dry in like 3 minutes because it's so dry here. So if you don't live in a dry climate, I would recommend just setting it on a silicone mat or something, because then it won't bleed through. Whoops, I don't want to touch it and get my hands all dyed. But anyway, you could do a long piece of this so you don't have to do each individual thing. But that's all you do. You see the difference. And it looks identical. So it doesn't matter which way is easier for you. If you're doing a lot, I would recommend the water technique. If you're just doing a little strip, the blends are just fast and easy. So think about it. Think of all the colors that you could use with black and the white checked. All right, so what I forgot to do was I was gonna put this on first. So all I did was, I think I have adhesive on the back. So we're just gonna put this on the front. Make sure the boo is going the right way if you use this. Whoops, but my tape didn't go the right way. So I'm just gonna use actually my 2A Scotch tape. Sometimes I use that for things like this on the ribbon where I want it to stick well. Whoops, and I don't want it to, you know, come up. So let's do one more piece here. All right, now we can stick it. And by the way, this is 2 7/8 by 2 7/8. So now we can put this on the front, just center that. All right, now when I was playing around with this, I noticed that my, because eventually we're gonna put the pumpkin on here, but do you see how it looks like they're kind of floating in the air, which is kind of Halloween-y. Maybe they're spooky pumpkins, but I wanted to add just like a base so it didn't look like they were floating. So I used, this is from In Good Taste, and it's 2 7/8 by 1/2 inch. Oh, I heard that. Sometimes the Stampin' Seal Plus will take off the DSP when you're taping it. So I see that happened, but that's the first time it's happened to me. But I got enough on there, I can still use it. Maybe for DSP I will stick with the green glue, but I'm still kind of playing with that tape. All right, so now there's a base so that it's not flying away. Now let's take some large dimensionals and put those on the back and stick those on like this. We'll put about 3 of those on. Not quite done yet, but we're getting close. But isn't that a cool technique with the ribbon? I just love that. I hope that they continue that black and white checked ribbon. All right, now let's put the little ribbon that I made up here. So I already tied one because I wanted to dye it and have it dry by the time I did the video. And let's put a glue dot behind here, and we're gonna put it on the right-hand side, right there to fill some of that space. All right, now we need one more thing to make it look a little more Halloween-y. This is that witch hat, isn't that cute? And we're going to put a dimensional, I think we better use a mini one on this. And then you can kind of play around and see which, no pun intended, which hat you want to put the, which pumpkin you want to put the witch hat on. And I think I chose the larger one. And what I'm going to do is just cover up the stem. It would be cute on the smaller one too. You know what, really, it doesn't matter. Which one do you like better? We could even go here. It really doesn't matter. The important thing is that you cover up the stem. So I think we'll put it down here to offset the ribbon up there. All right. Okay, there we go. There's our cute little card. And remember, we have envelopes that fit these. And a lot of times when I do these cards, I will coordinate an envelope to go with this. I do have one here, so let's just go ahead and finish it off. So here's our 3x3 envelopes. They're actually 3 1/4 by 3 1/4, I believe. And then this is 3 1/4 by 1 1/2. And for this one, I am going to use my green glue. And the reason is I want to get every edge. And all you're going to do is put this little rectangle on the flap of your card. And then it's too hard to cut this first and then put this on. So it's easier just to put that on the flap and then lift up the flap and grab your paper snips, and now we can easily just follow the line of the flap and just fussy cut that like this. And this will just add that extra little touch. And these are too small to mail at the post office, but this would be more if you're going to hand someone a gift, or, you know, just a little card that you give to someone. All right, and then the last thing, if you don't have a spider stamp, this is a good one to get. Frightfully Cute. You will see more of this stamp set in a couple of months ahead, but look at that cute little spider. So of course we need to decorate the front of the envelope. So let's take our Memento ink and then that cute little spider, and let me put the flap down. And then I think we want him to hang from the top. Let's put him down here, but you know what? You can extend this line if you want. So let me grab my Stampin' Right marker and a ruler. So if you want to extend it, you wouldn't have to use a ruler, but just line that up and continue the line like this. There we go. All right, and then isn't that cute? And then you can put the name there. So there we have our 2 projects that we made. Actually, this side probably looks better. And you can use coordinating paper from there. There's so many to choose from. Well, I hope you enjoy this project. Let me move that and come back and join me next week, Tuesday morning. Remember, I do Facebook Lives on Tuesday and Friday mornings at 9 o'clock Arizona time. And also, I'm getting ready for my August Creative U, and you all can take part of it, even if you don't live here. All you have to do is put an order in that's $35 or more, and you will receive the 3 free projects we make that month, or this month, I should say. But you have to use the host code, and this is the host code that qualifies you for these projects. And also, if you bump up your order to $50, you can get a free celebration item. Remember, that started this month as well. So there's free items in the catalog, and I think you'll enjoy that. There's extra perks for ordering this month and next month. All right, take care, guys. Thank you so much for joining me, and we will see you next time.